um, with an antique finish, or my Morgan silver dollar with a Canadian penny spinner. Uh,
Mm.
those seem to be really popular for their price. Those ones, my regular Morgans are at $100, and my spinners are at $380, I think, right now. And those
Okay.
seem to be pretty popular. But I'd say those are my top. My top three would be those two, and then my Silver Eagle, the 1 ounce. Personally, it's my favorite design on any coin. I think it should be on every U.S. coin. It's beautiful, and that one seems to be super popular too.
Tell me this. As you know, as you may know, that the 1921 Morgan dollar and also the anniversary of the 1921 Peace dollar, they have commemorative coins that will be issued this year, June 1st to be exact. Do you think that you'll get a couple orders? Do you think you would like to ring a couple of those? $85 is the asking price, I believe.
Oh man, I think I would. I'd like to. I'd like to have a buyer for it first, but I'd be happy to ring it because it's a beautiful design, and just to have something that's, just the commemorative part about it is beautiful. I think that'd be amazing. So I'd definitely like to have a buyer, but I'd be really interested in ringing one of those.
Okay. So, Dylan, are you a coin collector, or were you introduced as to coins when you were younger?
I wasn't introduced to coins when I was younger, actually, and I'm not necessarily a collector, but I'd love to educate myself on the coins. As you know, I sell at the little market festivals and events in my area, and when people ask me about a coin, I don't take comfort in being like, oh, that's a Morgan dollar, they're old. I like to tell them they're from 78 to 1904, once again in 1921. And I give them the history behind those. I give people the full history behind Walking Liberty half dollars. And I think that's a really important selling point, is having some knowledge to give them instead of just being like, I make this a ring and it's an old coin.
Right.
And I do enjoy having that knowledge. I love history and I love learning. And so it's a good way to combine both with the craftsman touch to it. So I don't really collect. I just like to have that knowledge.
Yeah. Question, Dylan. How do you introduce coin rings to the public?
Well, I have my Instagram page and I have my Etsy page. For Instagram, it's tough to me to get followers. I think I have 300 right now, which I'm very grateful for. I really, really am. It's just tougher for me to get reach. But one of my favorite things to do is I go to those market festivals, and these wonderful ladies in our town hold a festival called the Model City Antique and Flea Market, because the city I live in, Kingsport, is known as the Model City. Okay. So they have this 3-day event. They just have one in spring. They'll have one in October. And that's where I sell my ring that I do, the Canadian large cents, state quarters, Morgan dollars. I sold, at this past one, I sold a Morgan spinner. It was one I couldn't resize, and it fit the guy perfectly.
Wow.
And his friend got a Morgan with the Purple Heart wood liner in it, and it fit him perfectly.
Wow.
So that's how I reach people. And along with those, I sell at 2 shops. The trading shops have their own little enterprise here in Tennessee, and they're wonderful people. And so I have a booth in their Tazewell store, a little bit further away from us, but then I have one in downtown Bristol, which is part of the Tri-Cities that we live in. And I get really good traffic down there because we have a racetrack from all over, and they go in there and they check out my stuff, and I get really good sales in there. But one thing that I find priceless that I get from there is traffic and reach. I get some custom orders, and people ask me, can I resize this? And I say yes, of course. I sell coin rings down there, and I also have a little shelf for my sand rings as well, so people can get a feel of everything that I do.